Hello and welcome all. I am CD, also known as the Dark One, and we are here today with Leave No Trace Volume 1. So, occasionally I read more light novels than isekai trash, despite isekai trash being like 80% of the light novels that are released. But again, every so often one comes out that isn't an isekai or isn't a slice of life fantasy story. And so these get my curiosity, and this is one of them. This is where we go to today's work, May These Laden Battlefields Leave No Trace, and a bunch of other titles I'm not going to say. But let's just call it Leave No Trace, because that is the simplified, easier version of the title to say. So anyway, what's this about? For the past 100 years or so, the East and West have been facing a ferocious war. One day, on these savage battlefields, a young soldier from the East finds a silver bullet he's never seen before, and uses it to kill an enemy officer. Suddenly the world goes black and he wakes up at his home base. As he finds out, a side effect of using the bullets is that he killed this infamous officer and erased him from existence. Yes, anyone shot by these strange silver bullets are erased from existence, and anything that they've done or will do is never ever done. At the same time, he also finds himself meeting an odd girl named Air, who was the one who made the bullets. As she explains, anyone struck by these bullets is erased and is treated as if they've never existed, as I just said. And now with the young man whose name is Rain Lance, they have the power to literally change the world with every shot, as he can reshape the past and future and potentially end the war, or erase it from ever existing. In all honesty, this series got me just based off that premise. An ability to erase someone from existence is just cool by its sheer nature, and making it a bullet just kind of adds to that. Again, you're completely erased, so it's a fun way to just kill off a bunch of characters, but then kill the person that killed them, and then bing, bing, boom, that's like a Dragon Ball wish. It never happened. Because it never did, because that person never existed. Again, Grandfather Paradox uses a weapon. Cool. Again, I also like series that have the idea of someone literally using a gun to shoot out magic spells. It's just basic cool imagery. And, well, there's Air. She's a ghost. Essentially, she's someone with great power beyond human comprehension. And, well, in this case, she's the originator of these bullets that can erase people from existence. And she wants to form a contract with Rain, but the contract comes at the cost of him losing his freedom for the sake of her power. She also has a tragic backstory, and especially hates the country Rain is fighting for, but leads to this interesting dynamic where she hates the country Rain is fighting for, but is willing to work with him and help protect that country for the sake of her own end goals, which obviously, as of Volume 1, we don't know what those goals are. She could want to erase the country from ever existing. She could want to kill one particular person, using Rain to get to them. We don't know, and that's really cool. So this is going to be a really short one this week, because this is only the first volume. I've only read Volume 1 of it, and I just found the premise pretty cool. I do say this gets by mostly on its premise. I have to say the ideas for the series are good, but I wouldn't put it up there with the best light novels I've read. It's a fun read, but not too deep and not really something to go hog ham into. If the second volume were out at the time, I'll probably have read Volume 2 with Volume 1, if only because this feels like, an introduction to this concept. Like, I like the characters, or at least the characters of Rain and Air, as they're the only two characters to be given any full look at in this point. We don't really know much of the side cast. Like, we know them, but we don't really get good looks at them, so they're left with a kind of blank slate to be used as you see fit for the rest of the story, as it were. And the villains are pretty weak. Yeah, we had the standard enemy general puppy kicker villains, but I do hope the series gives us some more memorable villains to be erased from existence. Yes, that sounds like a joke, but I'm 100% serious. The fact that you can erase someone from existence with these bullets effectively makes it a good excuse to make some memorable villains who have some strong achievements and feats. Like, let's say, an enemy general who's killed over 1,000 people by themselves or won 1,000 battles. Erase them from existence, what happens to the entire front of the war? I'm not saying to do something like that, I'm just saying that it's a cool idea, and I'd like to see that explored a bit more in this series, because that's what I'm coming for, the premise. The characters are icing on this cake as the premise, but I think the icing's only half finished, as they're outside of Air. Most of the characters are pretty basic, so yeah. Again, I come away liking this, and I do recommend it, but it's not really something that I would go super deep into. But maybe Volume 2 would change that, I don't know. If I had Volume 2, I'd probably combine them for this review. But at the moment, with just Volume 1, just initial thoughts on Volume 1, I like it, but I wish for more. Which I guess is what a good Volume 1 is supposed to do. But in this case, it feels lacking a little. I don't know. So yeah. I want more, but at the same time, I feel that that's a bad thing. And yeah, that's my thoughts on Leave No Trace Volume 1. I might talk about Volume 2 if and when I pick that up. Again, I do recommend Volume 1 at the least, just to get their toe wet on this premise, because the premise alone sells the book series for me, or at least the first few books for me. And yeah, till next time, everybody.